Welcome. Tonight, we will journey together into a world of warmth, comfort, and quiet rest. This collection is called the Eternal Hearths, a series of gentle stories about fires that never fade. Each flame glows with peace, each ember carries safety, each spark rises into the night to guide your dreams. If you find peace here, I invite you to subscribe, so that you can return whenever you need calm, and if you'd like, share in the comments when you are drifting to sleep tonight. Now, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let us begin our journey into the glow of the Eternal Hearths, the camp of quiet flames. The forest path narrows as night begins to gather. You follow it quietly, guided by a faint glow ahead. The air smells of pine and damp earth cool against your skin. Soon the trees part, and you step into a clearing where a small fire waits at the center. Its flames rise slowly, steady and calm, as if they have been burning for years without hurry. A ring of stones surrounds the fire, their surfaces warm and smooth. Beside the flames sits a quiet figure, tending the embers with careful hands. Sparks rise gently into the night air, twinkling like fireflies before dissolving into the sky. Around the clearing, bedrolls are laid out, waiting for weary travelers to rest in the glow. You sit down on a blanket near the edge of the firelight. The ground is soft with pine needles, and the warmth of the flames reaches you like a slow embrace. The crackling of wood is gentle, steady, and unhurried. Each sound seems to smooth the edges of thought, calming the body with a rhythm that feels timeless. The keeper of the fire moves with quiet care, placing a single log onto the coals. Flames curl upward to greet it, weaving delicate patterns of light and shadow across the clearing. No words are spoken, yet a sense of welcome surrounds you. The fire accepts you as though it has been waiting for your arrival. Above, the sky clears to reveal countless stars. They shine with unusual clarity, each one glowing softly as if listening to the fire's steady crackle. A cool breeze drifts through the clearing, brushing across your face. It carries the scent of resin and ash, blending perfectly with the warmth at your side. The fire burns without urgency, each flame rising and falling in its own rhythm. As you watch, your breath begins to match it, slower, deeper, more at ease. A quiet strength radiates from the hearth, reminding you that you are safe here. The night beyond the clearing feels distant, softened by the fire's steady glow. A kettle rests on a flat stone near the fire, steam rising in thin threads. The keeper pours warm tea into a simple cup and offers it with a small nod. The drink is mild and fragrant, its heat spreading slowly through your body. The warmth feels like another layer of fire, glowing softly inside you. Shadows sway gently around the circle, moving with the flames like dancers in slow motion. Each flicker brings a new pattern across the ground, a shifting artwork that calms the eyes. The longer you watch, the more you feel as if the fire itself is painting dreams. Across the clearing, strokes of light and silence. The crackling logs release faint scents of cedar and oak, each breath carrying memory and calm. The sounds of the forest grow quieter, as though the fire has hushed them. Even the wind pauses, respectful of the circle of light. You sense the world has slowed to the fire's pace, unhurried and endlessly kind. The keeper stirs the embers, and sparks drift upward again, swirling into the sky. They seem to join the constellations above, vanishing into the stars. You watch until your eyes grow heavy. The fire glows steadily, breathing with you, keeping watch while you rest. Its warmth and light promise that sleep will come gently. The fire hums softly, not as a song but as a companion. Around you, the stones glow faintly from hours of warmth, holding their heat like memories. You stretch out a hand, letting the gentle radiance reach your skin. It feels grounding, as if the earth itself has decided to keep you steady, to share its long patience with your resting body. A moth flutters briefly near the flames, its wings catching golden light before vanishing back into the dark. The moment is small yet complete, a reminder of how even the tiniest lives belong to the circle. You take comfort in this thought that nothing is separate here. Everything is invited into the calm. The keeper lowers a bundle of herbs onto the embers. Smoke curls upward, blue and fragrant, with a hint of mint and cedar. The scent drifts through the clearing, soothing every breath. You inhale slowly, and it feels like a doorway opening. Old thoughts loosen and leave, and in their place rises a soft quiet that asks for nothing. Across the clearing, another traveler stirs and resettles into their blanket. Their breath steadies again almost immediately. You notice how the firelight touches their face, gentle and unintrusive. The glow does not demand attention. It simply rests where it is, steady and kind, like a hand left open but never withdrawn. A breeze slips through the trees, bringing the faint sound of a distant stream. The water's rhythm is different from the fire's, yet the two seem to agree with each other, blending into one slow conversation. The harmony between flame and water comforts you, reminding you that peace can hold many voices. The stars above shift almost imperceptibly. One seems to brighten, as if answering a question you did not know you had asked. Sparks from the fire rise to meet it, fading before they reach its glow. Still, the gesture feels meaningful. The night sky and the fire seem to share the same intent, to watch over you as you rest. The keeper reaches into the kettle and draws it away from the heat. He sets it on a stone where it ticks softly as it cools. The sound is rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. You realize that everything around you has found its rhythm, from the fire to the wind to the stars, and that your own breath has joined them. You shift slightly on your blanket, and the ground accepts you. The pine needles below cushion each movement, their scent rising faintly as you press into them. They smell of long seasons, of patience and endurance. The forest seems to whisper that it has all the time in the world, and now so do you. The fire flares briefly as a log shifts, then settles back into its steady glow. You watch the flames lick the wood, tracing lines and shapes that vanish as quickly as they appear. Each fleeting figure feels like a dream beginning and ending, reminding you that nothing needs to be held too tightly tonight. Your eyelids grow heavier. The fire continues its quiet work, casting steady light without effort. The keeper places another log on the coals, and the flames rise again, calm and slow. You no longer need to watch. You trust the fire to remain, to breathe with you, to keep the circle warm while you drift toward sleep. The night deepens, but within the circle of stones, time feels suspended. Shadows stretch gently across the clearing, weaving between bedrolls and trees. They do not bring fear. Instead, they fold around the space like another blanket, tucking in every traveler. The firelight softens their edges, turning darkness into comfort. The keeper adjusts a log, and a small burst of sparks leaps upward, swirling before fading into the cool air. For a moment, they appear to mimic constellations, flickering with quiet intent. You wonder if every spark remembers the star it once belonged to, and if every flame is part of some larger story told only in dreams. A faint sound of wings passes overhead, a bird flying through the moonlight. It leaves no cry, only the steady beat of feathers moving against the air. The sound fades quickly, absorbed by the stillness of the clearing. Its brief passage reminds you how soft motion can be, how even flight can rest within the night. The forest floor is sprinkled with tiny glowing beetles. They move slowly across the needles, their bodies shining faintly in the firelight. Their glow pulses in a rhythm that feels connected to the flames, like a chorus of smaller lanterns. The sight eases your eyes, making the world appear tender and alive. A hush falls, as if the forest itself has agreed to sleep. Even the wind grows still, and the only sound left is the fire's gentle crackle. You lean into it, letting the rhythm soothe you further. It reminds you of footsteps on a familiar path, steady and known, guiding you without effort toward rest. The keeper sits quietly now, his face lit by the glow. He seems neither young nor old, only timeless, as if he has always been here and will always remain. His presence offers reassurance without words. You feel safe, as though nothing outside the clearing can intrude upon the calm that surrounds you. The fire releases another breath of smoke, this one carrying the scent of pine resin and earth. It drifts upward, slow and steady, before disappearing into the sky. You breathe it in, and it feels grounding, like the forest has shared a piece of its memory with you. The scent lingers, gentle and soothing. A traveler shifts in their sleep, rolling closer to the warmth. The firelight touches their closed eyes and calm expression. You notice how the glow seems to care for each sleeper equally, spreading warmth without favoritism. Its gift is shared freely, and in that sharing, it feels endless. The fire's rhythm grows quieter, the flames folding inward, as if preparing for their own rest. Yet the embers still glow, steady and deep, promising continuation. You realize that this flame is not simply burning wood. It is burning time itself into moments of peace, shaping night into a safe place for dreams. Your breathing has become almost indistinguishable from the fire's pulse. Inhale, a rise of light. Exhale, a soft dimming. The harmony is complete now, and you feel yourself slipping gently toward sleep. The circle, the keeper, the forest, and the flames have all become one presence, holding you in their care. The sky above drifts into deeper shades of blue, nearly black, though the stars remain vivid. Their quiet shimmer seems to echo the fire's glow below, as if sky and earth mirror each other. You feel small within this vastness, but not lost. The fire keeps you centered, a steady heart at the center of the night. A log splits, releasing a faint pop that startles no one. The sound is soft, like a punctuation mark in the fire's gentle story. The ember inside glows fiercely for a moment, then fades into the steady rhythm again. You watch the glow and feel your thoughts dissolve into its patient pattern. The keeper pours the last of the kettle into his own cup, sipping slowly. He makes no sound, his movements deliberate and calm. His quiet presence reassures you that nothing needs to be rushed. The night stretches infinitely, and rest will take as long as it needs to, without expectation or demand. The blanket around your shoulders grows warmer. It feels heavier now, as though the fire's heat has woven into its fibers. The sensation presses gently against your body, not with weight, but with safety. Your limbs grow looser, as though surrendering to the comfort offered by both blanket and flame. The clearing feels like a room without walls, perfectly enclosed by light and shadow. Trees stand as silent guardians at its edge, their branches motionless under the starlit sky. You feel them watching, not intruding but protecting, making sure the fire has the space it needs to care for you. A faint silver mist begins to gather between the trees, rolling in slowly like a tide. It carries coolness that contrasts with the fire's warmth, yet the two meet in harmony. The mist glows faintly under the moon, and the flames reflect in its edges, creating a vision of gold and silver blending peacefully. The mist grows thicker, softening the outlines of the forest. The fire becomes a beacon, its glow reaching outward like a lantern guiding travelers home. The sight comforts you. Even if you drift entirely into sleep, you know the flame will remain steady and kind, keeping the clearing alive with warmth. The keeper adds another branch, this one already dry and light. It catches quickly, sending slender flames upward in ribbons. The fire does not leap wildly. It stretches gracefully, each movement careful. You feel that same grace in your breath, unhurried and measured, a steady tide within your chest. You close your eyes and listen. The fire's crackle is joined by faint nocturnal sounds, the chirp of a cricket, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a night bird. Each sound arrives gently, as if bowing before entering the clearing, then fades into the calm. Together they create a lullaby of the forest. The air cools slightly, yet the fire provides enough warmth to balance it. You stretch your toes beneath the blanket and feel heat radiating upward from the stones. The earth itself seems to be holding you, taking part in the quiet care the fire provides. The circle is complete, and you belong within it. A single star falls across the sky, leaving a thin white trail before vanishing into the horizon. The fire answers with a brief rise of sparks, as if the two were speaking in the language of light. The exchange is brief but meaningful, a reminder that nothing is separate. Sky, flame, and dreamer are all connected. The logs continue to settle, shifting into one another with soft cracks. Each adjustment makes space for the next breath of flame. The fire teaches balance without words. To give space is to make room for rest, and to release is to allow calm to enter. The lesson seeps into your body with ease. The keeper leans back, resting his hands on the earth. His stillness mirrors the night. You realize he is less a man and more a part of the clearing itself, a caretaker who belongs to the fire as much as the wood and stone. His quiet watchfulness feels like an extension of the flame's promise of safety. Your thoughts wander, slow and dreamlike, weaving small images, a lantern on a windowsill, a path lined with moss, a river curving gently beneath starlight. Each vision passes without lingering, like leaves drifting downstream. The fire seems to shape these images for you, giving your mind soft ground to rest upon. The scent of smoke drifts upward again, faint and earthy. You imagine it traveling into the sky, blending with clouds, carrying the memory of warmth far from the clearing. Perhaps somewhere else, another dreamer breathes in that trace and feels at ease without knowing why. The thought comforts you before it fades, Your body grows heavier as sleep approaches. Each limb feels as though it is sinking deeper into the ground, yet the sensation is not of weight but of belonging. You are part of the circle now, one more traveler resting in its care. The fire accepts you completely, holding you in its glow. The flames bend lower, folding inward as the logs shift again. The coals beneath burn steadily, glowing red as jewels buried in earth. They pulse gently, not with urgency but with certainty. You realize the fire does not fear fading. It trusts the keeper, and in that trust it remains endless. The mist continues to thicken, wrapping the trees in silver veils. The fire shines through it, casting halos around each spark. The scene feels dreamlike, as though the world has transformed into a painting of rest. You are inside this painting, a figure at peace, surrounded by strokes of light and shadow. The keeper lifts another small stick, rests it carefully across the embers, and waits. Flames curl along its length with patience, not force. Watching the fire grow, you feel your breath settle further. Inhale, light. Rises, exhale, it softens. The connection is complete, and you drift closer to the edge of sleep. Your eyes close, though the glow lingers behind your lids. The sound of the fire remains gentle and steady, as if it has entered your body. You realize you no longer need to see it to know it is there. The fire has become part of you, a steady warmth carrying you into rest. Sleep waits only a breath away. The night stretches wider, the stars unmoving in their watch. Around the clearing, the trees lean closer, not menacing but protective, as if guarding the flame. Their tall shapes sway slightly, and each movement resembles a bow in quiet respect. The fire continues its steady pulse, calm against the vast silence of the forest. A hush settles so deep that every small sound becomes meaningful. The shifting of a log is a voice, the settling of embers a sigh. Even your own breathing feels part of this language. Together, these sounds form a quiet story told without words, a narrative of calm that you listen to with your whole body. The keeper adjusts his seat, the rustle of his coat soft in the night. His presence feels like an anchor, holding the clearing in balance. He does not speak or instruct. His only task is to ensure the fire remains true. That task is enough, and in watching him, you feel assured that nothing here can falter. The coals glow brighter beneath the wood, their colors shifting from red to orange to a deep golden hue. They look like tiny suns resting in the earth, each one alive with warmth. You imagine they have been burning for centuries, passed from one caretaker to another, a lineage of light guiding countless sleepers. Another breeze passes lightly through the clearing, carrying the faintest scent of lavender from somewhere unseen. It mingles with the smoke, creating a perfume both earthy and floral. The fragrance drifts into your senses and settles in your chest, a calm weight that encourages your body to let go more completely. The fire lowers itself, flames no longer leaping but folding inward. It is not fading, only resting. The coals remain steady, glowing with patience. Their quiet presence mirrors the feeling of your own body as it sinks deeper into stillness. You realize both you and the fire are in the same state, alive yet perfectly calm. A soft murmur comes from the distant forest, perhaps a deer shifting in the underbrush or a branch giving way under its own weight. The sound is brief and harmless, quickly absorbed into the wider silence. The fire answers with a small crackle, as if acknowledging it before continuing its steady rhythm. The sky above is velvet now, so dark that the stars appear sharper, closer, as if they could be touched. Sparks from the fire rise like tiny companions to those stars, flickering for a moment before fading. You watch the exchange and feel comfort in knowing that even brief lights matter, even brief moments carry peace. The keeper lifts his gaze to the sky, his face illuminated by the glow. For an instant, he looks like another star, grounded on the earth, yet belonging to the heavens. He seems timeless, more guardian than man. His watch is steady, and you know the fire will never be without care while he remains. Your body feels almost weightless now, every muscle surrendered to stillness. The blanket warms you as though it is woven from the fire's own glow. You drift closer to sleep, each breath softer, each thought lighter. The clearing has become less a place and more a dream, holding you with infinite patience. The mist thickens once more, curling between the trees and gathering along the ground. It softens every edge, turning the clearing into a dreamlike painting. The fire shines within it like a golden heart, its light diffused but not diminished. The mist feels protective, wrapping the night in an even deeper calm. You hear the faint rustle of another traveler shifting in their sleep. Their quiet sigh joins the fire's rhythm, weaving another layer into the calm. Each sleeper here is part of a shared silence, a collective rest. You feel yourself part of it too, united not by words, but by the simple act of breathing together. The fire releases another puff of smoke, rising into the mist. It twirls lazily, dissolving as it climbs. Watching it, you feel your own thoughts doing the same, thinning and vanishing into the night sky. There is no need to hold them. The fire accepts them as easily as it accepts wood, transforming them into calm. The coals shift softly, collapsing inward with a faint sigh. Their glow deepens, settling into a rich crimson. The light reflects on the stones, on the keeper's coat, and across the sleeping faces nearby. It feels less like a fire now, and more like the steady heartbeat of the earth itself, calm and eternal. Your eyelids lower further, heavy with rest. Behind them, you still see the glow, a soft amber that flickers gently in your mind. It is not intrusive but soothing, a private flame that continues even with eyes closed. The fire has placed itself within you, ensuring its comfort stays wherever your dreams may go. The night is absolute now, yet within the clearing, nothing feels lost. Every spark, every glow of coal, every breath in the air holds meaning. You are surrounded by presence, yet none of it demands attention. It simply exists, steady and sure, like the tide or the turning of the moon, asking nothing of you but rest. The keeper lays another branch gently across the coals, but his movements are slower now, less frequent. The fire does not need much. It has reached its balance. Watching it, you feel yourself balanced too, neither rising nor falling, only floating in a state that is both awake and dreaming. Another spark drifts upward, glowing against the mist. You follow it with your eyes until it vanishes. In its brief life, it carried warmth and light, and then it was gone, leaving calm in its place. You realize that every moment here is like that spark, enough in itself without needing to linger longer. Your breath stretches into long pauses now. Each inhale takes in warmth. Each exhale releases it back into the clearing. The fire answers by pulsing softly, as if sharing the same breath. You and the flame are no longer separate. You are part of its glow its patience, its endless rhythm of rest. Sleep folds over you like the blanket at your shoulders. The fire continues to burn, steady and eternal, its glow surrounding you even as dreams approach. You feel safe in its presence, part of the circle, part of its story. With one last breath, you surrender fully, drifting into deep, peaceful sleep beside the camp of quiet flames. The hearth of the hollow tree. Deep within the old forest stands a tree so wide that 4 people could not encircle it. Its bark is dark as tea, its roots like sleeping animals resting on the earth. A narrow door hides between folds of wood, easy to miss unless you are moving slowly. Tonight you are moving slowly. The air carries a faint warmth from within, and the door seems to breathe with it. You press a hand to the bark. It is warm, as if the tree kept a summer secret beneath its skin. The door opens with a quiet sigh, revealing a hollow heart chamber lined with polished wood. In the center, set in a bowl of stone, a small hearth glows. No smoke blackens the ceiling. The fire lives here like a bird in a nest, calm and at home. Benches grown from the wood curve around the hearth. Their surfaces are smooth, where many have rested, yet they hold the gentle grain of living trees. You sit and feel the seat give slightly, as if adjusting to your weight. The flame leans toward you in greeting, then settles. Light drifts over the walls in ripples like water. Shelves carved from the trunk hold seeds in tiny jars, feathers tied with thread, and stones that shine when the fire brightens. Everything seems chosen to remember quiet things. A kettle of copper sits on a low hook above the coals. Its side has a dent like a dimple where hands have tapped to test warmth. It ticks softly, keeping time with your breath. You traced the grain along the wall. The wood feels like a map, valleys and rivers beneath your fingertips. Sap has left pale lines that catch the firelight. Somewhere under your palm, water climbs from root to crown, working without sound. The thought soothes you. The tree does not rush, and here you are invited to do the same. A keeper emerges from a side alcove, quiet as a moth. Their hair is silvered, their coat the color of rain. They place a handful of dry cones near the fire. The cones open as they warm, releasing a sweet resin scent that spreads through the hollow. The fire accepts them with a small hush, like lips parting for a sip. You are offered a cup carved from burl. It holds a simple tea, pine and honey with a breath of mint. The taste is clear and light, like air after a storm. Warmth slips from your throat to your belly, and muscles soften in answer. The keeper smiles, not to perform kindness, but because the room itself has taught it to them. Overhead, the chamber narrows toward a round skylight where the moon peers in. The opening is veiled by thin leaves that sway and comb the light into bands. Dusk glows in those bands, moving like slow snow. When the fire brightens, the bands turn gold. When it rests, they return to silver. Your breath follows their gentle rhythm. A woven mat near the hearth holds small tools of tending. A spoon for ash, a hook for the kettle, a brush made from grasses tied with twine. The keeper moves among them without pause, placing, lifting, smoothing. Their care is unhurried, the way a tide works ashore, steady and certain that time will shape what matters. You notice a narrow passage behind the hearth, a root tunnel cut smooth by use. Faint warmth drifts from it, carrying scents of earth and leaf mold. The keeper nods, granting permission without words. You rise and step through, hands sliding across the wall. The wood is warm as a sleeping dog, faithful and alive beneath your palm. The passage opens into a lower chamber where roots hang like ropes from a ship. In the center sits a second, smaller hearth, sealed in clay, its coals like fruit beneath frost. Here the air holds more earth and less smoke. The quiet is deeper. You sit on a cushion of woven fibers that rustle gently, as if remembering wind in the grass. Along the roots hang bundles of herbs drying in careful rows. Lavenders, sweet fern, lemon balm, and a plant you do not know with white stars for flowers. Their scents blend, not loud, but kind. The keeper crushes a leaf between fingers and lets it fall to the coals. The leaf darkens, then releases a breath of green that clears the mind. You close your eyes and listen. Sap moves like a far river inside the trunk. Beetles arrange tiny lives in hidden corridors. The fire settles with a small sigh that answers your own. Time loosens its grip, and memories slide into comfortable places. Not gone, not heavy, simply arranged where they no longer press. On the clay rim of the hearth, etched marks tell a quiet history. Small lines tally seasons. Tiny leaves mark years of rain. Spiral records the year lightning found the crown and left it stronger. The keeper touches that spiral with a fingertip, then rests the same finger lightly over their heart, honoring what was survived. From a high knot hole, a thread of cool night air slips inside. It meets the warmth and makes a soft curl that rises toward the skylight. In that curl you sense the tree breathing with you. Inhale, the curl tightens. Exhale, it loosens. The chamber and your chest learn one another, and the lesson is rest. The keeper brings a shallow wooden bowl filled with smooth river stones. One by one, they place the stones along the hearth's rim where heat can travel into them. The stones accept it slowly, darkening as warmth gathers. When the keeper slides a pair into a folded cloth and sets them near your feet, comfort spreads like light through water, steady and complete. A low shelf holds jars with handwritten labels. Rainier, early thaw. First frost. Inside each jar are small things saved from those days. A curl of bark, a seed wing, a single feather. The keeper opens first frost and lets you breathe its air. It smells of cold air and distant smoke, a clean memory that clears the mind without stirring it to move. From the ceiling root, a bell of thin wood hangs on a cord. The keeper touches it lightly. Instead of a ring, it gives a soft wooden note, as if two trees had greeted one another in wind. The sound settles on the hearth and then fades into the skin of the room. Your pulse finds the same slow measure and begins to match it. The inner chamber holds a water basin carved from a bowl. Its rim is slick from many hands. When the keeper lifts a ladle, the surface trembles and then stills. The water carries a pale reflection of the coals, a quiet twin of the fire. You dip your fingers and feel coolness. Meet the heat that rests in your palms, a balance that calms deeper than words. A narrow shelf holds folded quilts pieced from moss greens and bark browns. The keeper places one across your shoulders. It smells faintly of cedar chests and rain-cured cloth. Weight presses down just enough to tell the body it can stop asking for anything. Your breathing lengthens. The room appears to breathe with you, walls widening and softening on every exhale. You notice lines carved into the floor around the hearth, arcs that guide footfalls. The paths are worn smooth where many have stood to tend the fire. The keeper steps along one curve and places a cone at its end, the way a careful gardener places seed. The cone opens, smoke lifts, and a thin ribbon of scent traces the carved arc as if reading a sentence. From a pocket the keeper takes a round of bread and places it on a flat stone near the coals. Its surface glows, and a scent of toasted grain slips into the air. When shared, the piece you hold feels warm as a small animal. It asks you to eat slowly, and you do, and the flavor tells a patient story of fields, sun and hands that knew the right time to harvest. In the hush, a beetle makes its steady way along the wall. The keeper watches without moving it aside. This is a place where small lives proceed without correction. The beetle reaches a groove, pauses, and continues. The sight steadies something inside you. Progress is quiet, and the body understands by watching rather than by thinking. The upper skylight dims as a cloud crosses the moon. Shadows thicken, and the hearth answers with a brighter fold of flame. Not sudden, only sure. Amber climbs the wood, pauses, and settles. You feel the same adjustment within. When the world darkens, the quiet inside chooses to glow a little more, and that is enough. The keeper opens a tiny cupboard and draws out a small clay vial sealed with wax. They warm it in their hands, then touch a drop to the stones. The scent is unfamiliar, cool and green with a thread of sweetness. The air tastes like rain in a place you have not yet been. The body leans toward it as if to listen, and then eases back into stillness. A shallow groove carries ash away from the hearth into a lidded jar. The keeper brushes a thin drift along the groove and taps the lid closed. Ash will feed earth later, they whisper, and the whisper feels like a promise made to roots. Nothing here ends. It changes shape and continues the work of warmth in another form. You lie on a woven mat near the clay hearth and feel heat rise through the fibers. The mat has a subtle pattern that the fingers can read without lifting the eyes. Lines cross, then soften at the edges. The pattern repeats like a lullaby. Your hands rest, palm down, learning that song, and soon the hands forget their hands at all. The keeper loosens a panel near the floor and reveals a hidden niche. Inside, a bowl holds pale seeds that catch the firelight like small moons. These will be planted at the tree's dripline when the ground thaws. The thought travels through you the way warmth travels the stones. Rest now, grow later. Both belong to the same long rhythm. Somewhere above, rain begins. Soft on the canopy, the sound reaches the hollow as a distant silver hush. No drop enters, yet the room brightens in awareness, the way a person opens their eyes when someone dear walks in. The fire lowers slightly in courtesy, making room for the rain's voice, and the two sounds braid into one quiet thread. You return to the upper bench, and the keeper meets you with a nod that feels like ceremony concluded. They set the kettle back to the side where it will stay warm, not boiling. The chamber holds steady, not brighter, not dimmer. You feel arranged within it, placed where you fit. The tree knows your shape and keeps it safe asleep. The tree creaks softly. a sound like a wooden ship shifting in harbor. It is not strain, but conversation, with greeting wood. The fire answers with a tiny crackle, the two voices blending. You sense the tree and its hearth have always spoken this way, one holding ground, the other offering light, both serving the quiet task of keeping watchers calm. The keeper brushes embers into a crescent, shaping them to breathe more evenly. The glow deepens, steady and patient, like the rhythm of your heart. They step back and fold their hands. The act is neither performance nor ritual, only care carried out with reverence. You feel a part of that reverence wrapped into the circle of light. Your eyes wander to the shelves again. Each jar and feather holds not just memory, but intention. The air feels layered with them like rings in the trunk. Seasons gather here and never depart. You sense yourself becoming another ring in the hollow, a visitor whose rest will leave no mark but will still add to the weight of peace. Above, the leaves at the skylight shimmer as the rain deepens outside. Silver drops strike and slide. Some cling like beads until they fall, releasing tiny flashes. You watch as if time has slowed to their measure. The fire remains calm, its light flickering across each droplet, turning rain into scattered gems of the night. The keeper places another cone on the embers. It cracks open with a gentle snap, releasing a scent richer than the first. This one smells like smoke trailing through cedar woods, both ancient and clean. The air fills with it, weaving into your thoughts until every corner of your mind feels polished, clear, and deeply still. The quilt on your shoulders grows warmer as the fire settles into its steady rhythm. The weight is like a steady hand resting without pressure, a presence that does not leave. Your body knows what to do. It softens at the edges, sinking into the bench, ribs lifting and falling in harmony with the glow that pulses at the center of the room. Shadows gather in corners, dark but not heavy. They are companions, resting along the curves of wood. The fire paints them gently, never banishing them, only softening their borders. In their stillness you see shapes that feel familiar, memories of old shelters, of quiet evenings where nothing more was asked of you but rest. The keeper reaches for the brush of grasses and sweeps a thin line of ash toward the groove. The sound is soft, like fabric dragged gently across a floor. The ashes slip away, leaving the hearth's edge smooth again. You notice how care leaves beauty behind, not by adding more, but by making space for calm to linger. The rain outside grows heavier, a silver curtain drawn round the tree. The sound wraps the chamber completely, steady and soothing. The fire lowers itself in deference, its crackle now a counterpoint to the rain's steady rhythm. Together they weave a harmony that reminds you of lullabies you cannot name but still remember. You lie back, head resting against the wood of the bench. The warmth radiates upward through your spine, aligning each vertebra as if the tree itself were lending its strength. Your body accepts the offer, and you feel taller, straighter, yet completely at ease. Breath flows more freely, like air through wide branches, swaying without effort. The keeper closes their eyes for a moment, breathing with the same patience they tend the fire. Their chest rises slowly, then falls. In that pause, you feel as though the chamber itself is alive, each breath taken by the keeper mirrored in the fire, in the roots, in you. The entire space moves in a single rhythm of rest. Above, Thunder rumbles faintly, far away and softened by distance. It does not disturb. Instead, it sounds like the slow shifting of mountains, vast and steady. The hearth brightens in reply, not with alarm, but with companionship. The fire and thunder seem to acknowledge each other, guardians of different scales watching over the night. The keeper lights a lantern with a coal and hangs it near the root passage. Its glow is faint compared to the hearth, yet it extends the circle of light just enough to show the way back. You realize this chamber is designed not only for warmth, but for safe passage, guiding anyone who wanders through the hollow. Your breath grows slower, each inhale like drawing in the fire's glow, each exhale like feeding it back. The exchange is seamless, as though the flame and your lungs share the same task. You are not outside of the hearth's rhythm anymore. You are within it, your body a small flame adding to the steady, endless fire. The rain eases, leaving soft drips tapping against leaves. The silence that follows feels even deeper, as though the world has been polished clean. The keeper sets aside their tools and sits, hands folded, gaze resting on the hearth. You match their stillness, both of you joined in quiet guardianship of the flame, both content to let time dissolve. The coals sink lower, glowing like jewels beneath the wood. Their light is steady, as though drawn from the tree's heart. You imagine that this fire has burned for centuries, tended by countless hands. Each flame is part of an unbroken line, and tonight you rest within that legacy, held in the care of all who came before. The quilt warms your chest as you lie still. The air has grown heavier, not with weight, but with peace. Every sound is muffled, wrapped in the hush of the hollow. You sense the roots pressing deep into the earth, grounding you as though they have claimed you for safekeeping. You are no longer a guest. You are part of the tree. The keeper stirs the fire once more, gently shifting a log. Sparks rise but fade quickly, content not to travel far. Their brief glow mirrors the small thoughts that drift through your mind, flickering and dissolving without need for attention. Both sparks and thoughts vanish easily, leaving calm behind. The skylight reveals the moon again, washed clear by rain. Its silver light pours down through the leaves, meeting the amber glow below. Gold and silver mingle, wrapping the chamber in a balanced radiance. You feel that balance in your breath, a harmony between night's cool watchfulness and the fire's warm embrace. The keeper sets a hand upon the stone rim of the hearth. Their touch is reverent, steady, as though greeting an old friend. The coals brighten slightly beneath their palm. The gesture needs no words. You understand that the hearth is alive, not as a creature, but as a presence. It answers warmth with warmth, care with care. You close your eyes and hear the chamber in detail. The faint crackle of coals, the slow drip of rain from above, the whisper of roots stretching deeper. Each sound joins the next until there is no silence and no noise, only a seamless atmosphere. It settles into you, soothing every part of your body into stillness. The quilt is heavier now, or perhaps you are lighter beneath it. Your limbs sink deeper into the bench. The hearth breathes for you, its glow rising and falling in perfect time with your chest. You no longer think of sleep as something to find. It is already here, seated beside you, waiting patiently for you to accept it. A faint breeze slips through the skylight, stirring the leaves. The fire shifts in response, flames curling briefly higher, then returning to their calm. You recognize the exchange as trust. The tree allows the sky to enter, the hearth answers, and balance continues. Your breath mirrors it, flowing without effort, entirely natural. The keeper takes one final cone and lays it upon the coals. It opens with a tiny crack, releasing a last wave of resin scent. The fragrance drifts through the hollow, sweet and rich, sealing the chamber like a blessing. You inhale deeply, and in that breath, every part of you loosens, every muscle easing into surrender. The light dims as the fire folds inward. The glow no longer seeks to brighten the chamber. Instead, it rests at its center, calm and enduring. You realize this flame will never die, even if you cannot see it. It will live within the tree, within the roots, within the earth, waiting always for your return. Your eyelids are heavy now. Behind them, the glow continues, soft amber ripples that flicker without need for sight. You no longer distinguish between firelight and dreamlight. They merge into one. In this union, you feel carried, as if the hearth itself has taken responsibility for your rest, holding it with infinite patience. The keeper's movements slow. They sit back, eyes half closed, body still. The silence between you is deep but not empty. It is filled with presence, the way soil is filled with roots unseen. You join them in this stillness, not as a visitor, but as part of the hollow's breath, part of the eternal rhythm of care. A long exhale leaves your chest, unhurried, complete. The coals glow slightly brighter in answer, as though accepting your breath as part of their own. You understand now that the hearth and you are no longer separate. You have been woven into its cycle, your stillness feeding its light, its warmth feeding your rest. The rain has stopped, leaving the air clean and soft. The forest outside holds its breath, pausing in reverence for the hush within the tree. You feel cocooned, not cut off, but perfectly embraced. The world continues beyond the hollow, yet here you are safe. Here nothing can disturb the fire's gentle hold. The chamber darkens slightly as the coals settle lower. Their glow pulses like a heartbeat beneath ash, steady and sure. You let your awareness sink into that rhythm, slower with each pulse. The heartbeat of the fire becomes your own, a bond that promises you will be carried into dreams without effort. The keeper lowers their head, eyes closed, hands folded in their lap. Their breathing matches, yours exactly, to steady waves rising and falling. The chamber seems to breathe with you both, wood expanding slightly, then returning. You are no longer alone. You are part of a shared silence, a shared rest. Your mind drifts now, images forming like shadows in smoke. A field at dusk, a lantern left on a windowsill, a path lined with moss where each stone hums faintly underfoot. The images come and go without urgency, dissolving before you can hold them. The fire shapes them, then takes them back, guiding you deeper. The quilt grows heavier still, pressing your body deeper into the bench. It is not a burden, but a grounding, reminding you that rest is safe, that nothing is required of you. Your breaths slows further, each inhale a whisper, each exhale a sigh. The hearth glows faintly, as if nodding in approval. The roots overhead creak gently, adjusting in the night air. The sound is like a lullaby sung without words. It falls around you, the final layer of comfort. Your body is now so still, it feels as though the tree has taken you in, storing you among its rings, where you can rest for as long as you wish. The coals continue to pulse, but faintly now, more ember than flame. Their glow is steady, low, eternal. You feel no worry that the fire may fade. Its work is done. It has guided you here into stillness, into silence. It remains only to keep watch as you drift beyond the edge of waking. Your breath nearly disappears into the hush. It is so soft that you can barely sense it, yet it continues, steady as ever. The fire glows with each cycle, accepting even the smallest whisper of life and returning it as warmth. You know you could sleep for hours here, undisturbed, carried gently within its care. The keeper opens their eyes once more, only briefly, to check the hearth. Satisfied, they lean back and close them again, resting fully. The chamber holds both of you, safe and steady. The hollow tree does not end. It endures, and so does your rest, woven into its long and endless cycle. Sleep pulls at you now with certainty. Each thought loosens, untied like a knot undone in warm water. The fire has taken each one, softened it, and set it aside. What remains is silence. What remains is warmth. What remains is the truth that you are safe, perfectly safe, within this ancient heart. The coals dim further, but their glow never disappears. Even behind closed eyes, you feel them steady, pulsing. They are not gone, they are simply quiet, resting as you rest. You trust them completely. You surrender, knowing the fire will hold its vigil as you drift across the threshold of sleep. You are gone now into dreams, yet the hollow keeps you. The hearth glows, the tree breathes, the keeper rests. The cycle continues, timeless, eternal. You are part of it now, safe within its care, and so you sleep deeply and peacefully, wrapped in the embrace of the hearth of the hollow tree. The Ember Journey. Night opens over a wide plain where grasses shine like brushed silk. Along a quiet track, lanterns move in a slow procession, each holding a single living ember. The embers glow the way fruit glows in a dream, dim at the edges and warm at the heart. The air carries a scent of dry sage and distant rain. Nothing hurries here. The line advances with the patience of stars crossing the sky. You join the caravan at a thoughtful pace. A hand lifts in welcome, and space is made beside a cart woven from willow. The cart holds a clay cradle packed with ash where a single ember rests, breathing its faint orange light. It does not flicker wildly. It keeps a steady pulse, as if listening. You match your steps to that pulse and feel your shoulders begin to loosen. Ahead, the path threads between low dunes, their shadows rounded and kind. The caravan keeps a rhythm that feels learned from the body itself. 3 slow steps and a pause to breathe. 3 more and another pause. The embers answered with tiny brightenings at each pause, like nods in conversation. You move within this gentle meter and find that thought has little to do. Each lantern is different. Some are carved from pale wood, some from river stone, some from clay the color of warm bread. All cradle their embers in ash, so they ride safely. When wind slips across the plain, the keepers cup their hands to shelter the glow, not with worry, but with care that has been practiced a long time. The embers continue, untroubled. The grasses sing in a language made of small frictions. A low breeze draws its bow across the stems, and the note settles your chest. Far off, a night bird releases a soft call that travels and fades. The caravan folds that sound into its pace. Your breath follows. Inhale through cool air that smells of stone after sun. Exhale into warmth that rises from the ember at your side. At a shallow rise, the line halts. A kettle appears from a canvas sack and meets a bed of coals in a travelling brazier. It ticks as it warms. Cups are shared without speaking, clay warmed by hands, tea simple and clean. You sip and feel the heat go kindly into the body. The ember near you brightens as if pleased, then returns to its patient glow. The keepers check the ash beds, turning them with a spoon so heat spreads evenly. The movement is exact and unhurried, the way a gardener loosens soil around young roots. A pinch of cedar shavings is added to one cradle, releasing fragrance that drifts like a remembered porch in summer shade. You watch and learn how small motions make long journeys easy. When the caravan moves again, the sky has deepened to blue so dark it feels like velvet. Stars wake one by one, first at the edges, then everywhere at once. A guide near the front raises a staff with a dim lantern and sets a course by 3 bright points resting low on the horizon. The embers seem to echo those stars, small constellations traveling the plain. You walk beside an elder whose coat is the color of smoke. Their steps are even, their face calm. They tell you that these embers come from many hearths, each one carried until it finds a place that needs warmth. Sometimes that place is a village after a storm. Sometimes it is a single tent where a tired traveler waits. The elder smiles and falls quiet again. Far ahead, a gentle glow lifts at the edge of the land, not sunrise, but a resting camp prepared earlier. The sight draws the line forward without haste. When the caravan reaches it, the carts settle in a circle and the lantern lids are eased open. Embers are fed with thin sticks and breathe a little brighter. Their light pools across the ground like calm water, inviting sleep. Travelers spread blankets along the circle, each choosing a place close enough to feel the warmth, yet far enough to keep the air easy. The ground is soft, with sand brushed smooth by wind. Lanterns are set upon stones, their embers glowing brighter now that they rest. A hush settles naturally, not commanded, but chosen by every soul present. The elder stirs the coals in the central brazier, then lays thin twigs across them. Flames rise gently, never leaping. The fire seems to recognize its kin in the lanterns, nodding in small crackles. Around the circle, faces soften as the rhythm of the flames takes hold. You feel a steadiness in your chest that was not there before. Tea is poured again, this time steeped with sage leaves. Its fragrance drifts across the gathering, cool and green, mingling with the smoke. Each sip tastes of earth washed clean by rain. You hold the cup carefully, noticing how warmth seeps through clay into your hands. The ember beside you mirrors that warmth, steady and calm. One by one, lantern lids are lifted so embers can be stirred with a twig. Sparks rise briefly, bright against the night, then fade before reaching the stars. The act feels like a prayer that needs no words, only breath and patience. You inhale as a spark rises, exhale as it disappears, and the rhythm carries you into deeper quiet. The sky above is endless, sprinkled with starlight that feels closer than before. The caravan has no walls, no roofs, only sky and plain. Yet here, within the circle of embers, you feel enclosed, held in safety. The night beyond does not intrude. It stands back respectfully, as if the stars themselves watch over the glowing ring. Children curl into blankets near their families. Their breathing grows slow and even, chests rising like small waves. The embers brighten slightly, as if responding to that innocence. You watch the tiny pulses of light and feel your own breathing slow to match. The night asks nothing more of you than to rest. The elder speaks again, softly. They tell of the first ember, lit from lightning that struck an ancient tree. That fire was kept alive through storms and seasons, passed from hand to hand. Every ember carried now is a descendant of that flame. The story settles into you like a seed, patient and alive, carrying the weight of time. Lanterns glow steadily, their light painting soft halos on the sand. Each ember appears to have its own personality. Some flare briefly, others hold steady. All serve the same purpose, carrying warmth across the dark. You realize that this diversity of glow is not disorder but harmony, each one a note in the caravan's quiet song. The keeper beside you opens their lantern briefly to adjust the ash. Inside, the ember glows as if aware of being seen. Its light deepens, rich and strong. You feel a quiet gratitude as though it acknowledges your watch. The lid closes again, and the ember returns to its patient rhythm, steady as a heartbeat beneath the night. Dinner is shared from woven baskets, simple bread and dried fruit. Each traveler takes only what is needed. The embers seem to join in the feast, their glow rising slightly as if nourished by the company. You taste sweetness on your tongue and warmth in your chest, and together they lull your body into a state of calm satisfaction. After eating, the circle grows quieter still. Some travelers lie down, others lean back against their packs, eyes lifted to the sky. The embers continue to glow, their soft light the only movement. You find yourself mesmerized, each pulse of orange drawing you deeper into peace, like a tide pulling gently at the shore. The elder hums a low tune, wordless and steady. It drifts across the circle, carried by the wind. The embers seem to respond, their glow rising and falling in time with the melody. The sound is so soft it barely stirs the air, yet it gathers everyone together. Even your breath falls into rhythm with the tune. A young traveler adds a pinch of dried lavender to the brazier. The flames release a fragrance that folds into the night, sweet and restful. The air grows heavy with calm. You lean back against the sand and close your eyes briefly, letting scent and warmth combine into a blanket that drapes across your thoughts. When you open your eyes, the stars seem brighter, arranged like lanterns across the heavens. They remind you of the embers below, smaller lights reflecting the greater sky. You feel a connection between the two, as though each ember carries a spark of starlight, guiding the caravan not only across land but into dreams. The keeper adjusts the central fire, pushing coals gently together. Their glow brightens, filling the circle with soft light. It does not banish shadows, but softens them, turning the edges of darkness into curves instead of lines. In this balance of light and dark, you feel yourself relax further, trusting the night to hold you kindly. Someone nearby begins to tell a story, their voice quiet, the words slow. It is not a tale of adventure, but of stillness. A field where wind moves grass, a pond where fish rest under lilies. The embers seem to echo the images, glowing in rhythm with the words. You drift in and out of the story, half in waking, half in dream. A breeze moves across the plain, carrying with it the scent of sage and dry soil. It brushes the embers but does not disturb them. Instead, the glow shifts slightly, pulsing as if breathing in the wind. You feel the same within your chest, air moving easily, body softening with every breath. The caravan is breathing together. The elder lays their staff across their knees and closes their eyes. Around the circle, others follow, each finding their own stillness. No words mark the moment, but the decision is shared. The embers glow steadily, holding the silence. You close your eyes too, and the glow remains behind your lids, soft and constant. The coals in the brazier dim slightly, shifting from flame to ember. Their glow spreads across the sand like spilled honey, warm and golden. You realize this is how the caravan endures, not with great fires, but with small steady lights that refuse to fade. The thought is simple, and it calms you completely. Sleep comes easily to the circle. One by one, travelers lowered their heads, their breathing deepening. The embers do not judge or hurry. They simply keep glowing, content to serve as watchful companions. You feel your body sink into the sand, cradled by warmth and silence, part of the caravan of light that moves not only across land, but into dreams. The plain stretches endlessly, yet within the circle of embers there is no sense of distance. The glow creates a world of its own, a small universe resting on the sand. Beyond it, darkness waits patiently, respectful and quiet. You feel no urge to look outward. Everything you need is here, in warmth, in rhythm, in light. The elder shifts a branch in the brazier, stirring sparks that rise and fall quickly. Each spark feels like a fleeting thought, alive for a moment, then gone without regret. Watching them, you realize thoughts need no holding. They can rise, drift, and vanish. What remains is calm, steady as the coals glowing below. A faint rustle travels across the grass, perhaps a small animal moving through the night. The sound is distant, harmless, absorbed into the vastness. The embers glow on untouched. The caravan rests without fear. You sense that everything here knows its place, that the world has agreed to quiet so the circle may sleep. The stars above feel closer, crowding the sky with silver pinpricks. They shimmer in clusters, some faint, some bold. You notice how the embers mirror them, each a star brought to earth. You wonder if the sky watches the caravan, admiring how its children glow upon the plain, keeping company with those who walk the night. The keeper beside you stirs their lantern gently, ensuring the ember inside is comfortable. It brightens briefly, pulsing in gratitude. You watch the exchange with a smile, realizing the ember is alive in its way, breathing with the caravan, resting with you. Its quiet endurance feels like a promise you can trust completely. The elder places a small stone on the coals, heating it until it glows faintly. When wrapped in cloth and passed around, it warms every pair of hands. The gesture reminds you that fire's gift is not its blaze, but its sharing. You hold the warm stone, close your fingers, and feel calm seep from palm to heart, spreading into every limb. Silence deepens, but it is not empty. It is full of warmth, of breath, of slow heartbeats. The embers glow steadily, as if keeping watch over each sleeper. You close your eyes again and see the same glow behind your lids. Even without sight, you know the fire continues. Its presence is certain, endless, kind. A low hum begins, almost imperceptible at first. It comes from a group near the elder, a tune without words, just tone. The embers seem to listen, their light pulsing gently in rhythm. The hum feels like a blanket spread across the circle. You find yourself swaying slightly with it, your breath falling perfectly into its cadence. The brazier's coals shift, their color deepening into ruby and garnet hues. Shadows lengthen across the sand, but they are soft, not sharp. The night has grown thick, yet the circle remains luminous, its glow more than enough. You realize the embers do not fight the dark. They live within it peacefully, showing light without demand. Your body feels lighter as you settle deeper into the sand. Muscles no longer hold themselves tight. The warmth has undone them, unthreading knots, easing edges. Yes. You rest your head against a rolled blanket, and the earth beneath feels like a pillow shaped just for you. The ember beside you glows as if mirroring your stillness. A traveler nearby adjusts their lantern, lifting the lid for a moment. The ember inside flares brightly, lighting their face with soft gold. The glow fades back to steady warmth, but the moment remains in your memory, gentle and profound. You realize the embers give not only heat, but a sense of belonging, a reminder that no one rests alone. The elder scatters a pinch of dried sage into the brazier. Smoke curls upward, pale and fragrant, carrying whispers of earth and green fields. The smoke drifts over you, light as a veil. You inhale and your mind feels cleansed, as if every thought has been rinsed with fresh air. The feeling lingers, soothing and quiet. A few travelers roll into their blankets more tightly, the sound of fabric rustling soft in the hush. Their breathing resumes its steady pace, soon blending with the fire's rhythm. The embers glow in recognition, their light rising and falling as if keeping time with every chest in the circle. You realize the caravan itself is breathing. The elder speaks once more, voice low and measured. They tell of a valley where embers were carried after a long storm, lighting every home that had gone cold. They say no fire is ever truly alone, for each one comes from another. You hold the story close, feeling its truth settle in your heart. You are part of that chain now. The circle is quiet again, but not empty. Each ember glows with a purpose. Each traveler rests with trust. Above, the stars shift imperceptibly, guiding the caravan onward even in dreams. You feel the plane breathe, the embers breathe, and your body breathe with them. The night holds you gently, as though cradling you in its vast hands. Your eyelids grow heavier, but the glow remains steady behind them. The warmth from the firestones lingers in your palms. The sand beneath you feels softer, as though it has shaped itself for your comfort. You are fully held here, safe within the circle, safe within the caravan's light. Sleep approaches like a tide, slow and sure. The coals whisper softly, releasing small crackles that sound like footsteps on distant gravel. Each sound fades quickly, absorbed by the hush. The embers continue glowing, steady and bright, a reminder that light endures even in stillness. You let the sound carry you deeper, as though each crackle is a step down a staircase to rest. The night air cools, but the circle remains warm. Heat rises from the coals, subtle yet constant, wrapping every sleeper in comfort. You feel it on your face, on your hands, on your chest. It is not the heat of midday, but of companionship, a warmth that asks nothing except that you allow yourself to rest fully. Another spark rises, floating briefly before fading. You follow it with your eyes until it vanishes into the sky. In that moment, you imagine it becoming a star, joining the heavens above. Perhaps tomorrow night, someone will look up and see it, never knowing it once belonged to this caravan. The thought eases you further. Your breath lengthens, each inhale deep and soft, each exhale slower than the last. The ember at your side glows in rhythm, pulsing gently. You realize you no longer need to watch or listen. The fire will keep its vigil. The caravan will continue its path. You may surrender to sleep, confident that warmth and light will guide your dreams. The caravan is silent now, a circle of sleepers beneath the stars. Embers glow steadily, their light weaving threads of safety through the camp. The night seems endless, yet no fear remains. You feel yourself part of a tapestry of rest, one flame among many, one breath among countless breaths. The vast plain becomes a cradle, steady and sure. A breeze sweeps gently through the grasses, carrying with it the scent of sage and soil. The embers brighten faintly as if stirred by the wind's hand, then return to their calm glow. You notice how the fire responds but never resists, moving with the world instead of against it. The lesson seeps into your body, teaching surrender. Your mind drifts on the edges of dreams. Images come like lanterns in the distance. A bridge over water, a path lined with moss, a doorway glowing faintly. Each fades before you reach it, leaving only calm. The embers create these dreams, small sparks in the mind. You trust them to guide you gently where you need to go. The elder shifts in their blanket, murmuring softly before falling still again. Their lantern glows faintly beside them, ember pulsing as if standing watch. You realize the embers are guardians of more than warmth. They are keepers of silence, tending not just the night but the dreams carried within it. Their patience is endless. A shooting star arcs across the sky, brief and brilliant. For a heartbeat, it feels as if every ember glows brighter in answer. The circle seems to hum with unity, a connection between sky and earth, flame and dream. You smile faintly at the thought that perhaps each ember remembers it was once a star itself. The coals in the brazier shift, sighing as they settle deeper. Their glow softens, filling the circle with a low, golden haze. Shadows blend into the sand, edges blurred until the world feels seamless. You breathe into that haze and feel it breathe back, steady and endless, holding you gently as you sink further into rest. A traveler nearby whispers a word in their sleep, a sound so soft it could be mistaken for wind. The ember beside them brightens briefly, then returns to its calm state. You sense that even dreams are tended here, that the flames weave themselves into the minds of those who sleep, keeping every thought warm and safe. The lanterns form a constellation of their own, glowing dots across the sand. From above, it must look like a small piece of sky has fallen to earth. The thought comforts you as if heaven itself has bent closer for this night. You let that vision linger until your breath slows again and the glow becomes part of your dreaming. The elder opens one eye briefly, glances around the circle, then closes it again. Their smile is faint, content. The fire needs no tending now. It has settled into its rhythm, a heart that beats for all. You know the caravan can sleep without fear. The embers will keep vigil, quiet, steady, eternal. The night deepens further, stars crowding closer, yet within the circle the light remains. You no longer sense the vastness of the plain. You feel only the warmth of the fire, the softness of the sand, and the steady rise and fall of your chest. It is enough, more than enough, and it carries you deeper still. A faint drizzle begins, droplets so fine they vanish before reaching the ground. The air cools, and the embers brighten slightly, their glow rising to meet the damp. The drizzle ends quickly, leaving the air clean and sweet. You marvel at how the fire welcomes even rain, turning it into another piece of the night's calm. The grasses around the circle sway gently, whispering together. Their song is low and soothing, a lullaby carried on the plain. The embers glow in time with it, answering each verse with a pulse of light. You feel your mind sway too, back and forth, carried like a child in the arms of the caravan. Your body feels almost weightless, as though the sand has lifted you slightly. Muscles have forgotten their work. Even your thoughts lie down beside you, resting at last. The ember near your side continues its glow, a small companion that promises to remain even when you let go fully. You believe it, and you do. Another log is added to the brazier, not to flare brightly, but to ensure coals remain steady until dawn. The flame accepts it without fuss. Folding the wood gently into its glow, you realize that sleep is the same. It is not forced, only invited. You accept the invitation, closing your eyes, knowing warmth will not leave. The elder's hum returns, softer now, almost inaudible. It is less a song and more a vibration in the air, carried by the coals themselves. You feel it travel into your chest, joining your heartbeat. The lull is perfect. The hum continues until you can no longer tell if it is sound or simply the silence shaped into comfort. The stars shift higher, slow and patient. They do not rush. Their journey is long, and they move with certainty. You sense the caravan mirrors them, moving at the pace of stars across the sky, carrying embers that will never fade. The thought eases you completely. Your body, too, moves at the pace of stars now, unhurried and free. The coals in the brazier dim further, their glow steady but low. The lanterns hold their light with patience, each ember pulsing in quiet unity. The caravan is asleep, every traveler wrapped in the same calm. You realize you are not separate from them. You are one more ember in the circle, glowing with quiet strength. Dreams rise fully now, images more vivid than before. A ship gliding across a silver sea, a lantern hung on a tree at the edge of a meadow, a winding stair that disappears into clouds. Each dream is gentle, carrying you further, deeper. The embers create these paths, ensuring each step is soft and safe. Your breath grows so slow, it feels as though you are no longer breathing at all. Yet the ember beside you continues to glow, carrying your rhythm even when you cannot feel it. You understand now that the fire is not separate from you. It is the breath itself, steady and endless, holding you even as you drift away. The night holds you completely. The circle glows faintly, embers pulsing like stars scattered on the ground. Sleep takes you fully, deep and peaceful. The caravan will continue, embers alive, keepers resting, the plain stretching forever. You are a part of its journey now, carried gently by the Ember caravan into unbroken dreams. The flame that breathes. At the far edge of the known land, where cliffs meet the horizon, a single fire glows. It is not like other flames. It rises and falls in long, slow breaths, as if alive. Its light does not flicker or dance wildly. Instead, it moves like the chest of a sleeper, steady and sure. Those who find it say the fire breathes with them, guiding their bodies into rest. The fire rests in a stone circle carved by time, its edges worn smooth by wind and tide. Around it, the ground is soft with moss, glowing faintly under the fire's breath. Each exhale sends warmth across the circle. Each inhale draws the air inward, carrying with it the tension of those who sit nearby. To stay here is to feel your own body breathe with the flame. You approach carefully, though there is no need for caution. The fire welcomes without words, opening its warmth to you like a blanket. When you sit on the moss, your chest rises slowly, and the fire rises too, answering. When you release your breath, the flame lowers, folding inward. Soon, you cannot tell if you are following it or it is following you. The cliffs around the circle form a half-moon, their stone faces catching the glow. Shadows stretch along their surfaces, not sharp but soft. They appear like resting figures, guardians who have chosen to stand watch over the flame. Beyond them, the sea murmurs, its tide moving with the same slow rhythm as the breathing fire. The air smells of salt and earth, touched faintly by smoke that carries no sting. It is the scent of rest, deep and grounding. Each breath you take feels fuller here, as though the fire teaches your lungs to expand more gently, more completely. You feel your ribs loosen, your shoulders drop, your entire body learning the art of breathing again. Others are gathered in the circle, lying on blankets or leaning against the stone. Some are already asleep, their breaths rising and falling with the flame. Their stillness reassures you. Here, sleep is not an accident. It is a certainty woven into the rhythm of the fire. You realize you too will join them, carried into rest without effort. A keeper sits close to the flame, though they do not feed it wood or ash. Their task is simpler. They breathe with it, eyes closed, posture still. When their chest lifts, the fire lifts. When it lowers, the fire lowers. You wonder who is guiding whom, but the answer does not matter. Their shared rhythm is complete, and you feel yourself drawn into it. The moss beneath you is warm, as though it has absorbed centuries of the fire's exhalations. It cushions your body, adjusting softly to every curve. You stretch your legs, sink your hands into its thickness, and feel it hold you as firmly as a mattress of cloud. With every shift, the moss breathes back, assuring you that nothing here will let you fall. The fire glows brighter for a moment, then softens again, like a heart beating slowly in the night. You close your eyes and notice how the rhythm has entered you. Your breath is no longer yours alone. It belongs to the circle, to the flame, to the cliffs and sea that all breathe together. The realization brings comfort deeper than words. The tide grows louder for a moment, waves brushing the cliffs below. Their rise and fall match the rhythm of the flame, water and fire moving as one. You listen closely, realizing even the sea has learned to breathe here. Your breath joins theirs, an unbroken chain of rhythm that stretches from moss to ember to ocean, steady endless calm. The keeper lifts a small bowl of water and pours it carefully onto a stone near the fire. Steam rises in thin ribbons, curling upward like breath made visible. The flame brightens slightly, inhaling the mist, then exhales a wave of warmth that brushes over you. You feel as though you too are made of vapor and heat, dissolving gently into the night. Above, clouds part to reveal the moon. Its silver light falls upon the flame, blending with the amber glow. Gold and silver weave together across the moss, creating a pattern that shifts like water. The sight is so gentle it lulls your eyes into half-closed rest. Even when the moon hides again, its rhythm lingers within you. The cliffs hum faintly, the sound of wind moving through hidden cracks. The tone is low, almost like a sigh, and the flame answers with a deeper glow. You realize this place is alive with conversation, each element speaking in turn. Stone hums, fire breathes, sea murmurs, and your body joins the choir with every breath you take. The keeper speaks at last, voice quiet as moss underfoot. They explain that this fire has never been lit or fed. It has always been here since before memory, breathing in the rhythm of the world. Those who sit within its glow do not tend it, they only learn from it. Their words settle over you like a blanket, soft and certain. A child nearby curls beneath a wool cloak, their small chest rising in time with the flame. Each exhale seems to brighten the ember within their lantern at their side. You notice the circle is full of such quiet exchanges, each sleeper carrying a piece of the fire, each breath contributing to its endless rhythm. You close your eyes again and picture your own breath as light. Inhale, the glow expands. Exhale, the glow folds inward. Soon, you feel as though your body is not separate from the flame at all. You are part of the same breathing pattern, an ember within the larger fire. The thought soothes you, erasing the edges of self. The sea below strikes the cliffs again, waves bursting into foam before retreating. The sound marches the rise and fall of the fire, a perfect duet of water and flame. You wonder how long they have sung together, how many nights have passed beneath this rhythm. The question fades before it finishes, replaced by a calm that carries you deeper. The moss beneath you is warm, as though it has absorbed centuries of the fire's exhalations. It cushions your body, adjusting softly to every curve. You stretch your legs, sink your hands into its thickness, and feel it hold you as firmly as a mattress of cloud. With every shift, the moss breathes back, assuring you that nothing here will let you fall. A traveler begins to hum softly, a low note that threads through the circle. The fire brightens in response, its rhythm quickening just slightly before returning to calm. The sound feels like a lullaby with no words, only tone. Your mind drifts on it like a boat on still water, rocking gently toward sleep. The keeper lifts both hands and exhales slowly, guiding the flame. It follows their gesture, leaning forward, then settling back. The display is not dramatic, but tender, a reminder that this fire moves with care. You feel your own body mirror the motion, chest rising, shoulders lowering, the entire frame easing into quiet surrender. The cliffs darken as a cloud covers the moon. For a moment, the circle is lit only by the breathing flame. Its glow spreads further, filling the space completely. The darkness is not frightening. It feels like a pause, a chance to notice the fire alone. You find comfort in the simplicity, in the slow inhale and exhale of light. The sound of the sea grows faint as your hearing turns inward. You notice the soft thump of your heartbeat, the whisper of your lungs, the quiet pulse in your fingertips. All of it matches the fire. The realization calms you further, reminding you that your body already knows how to rest. It was made for this rhythm. The keeper sprinkles crushed herbs onto the moss near the flame. Their scent rises in waves, sharp at first, then mellow, blending with the smoke. The air tastes of pine and mint, cool yet grounding. Each breath feels like it cleanses you, brushing away the last pieces of tension, leaving only ease in its place. A faint drizzle begins, droplets tapping softly against stone. The fire inhales them without protest, glowing brighter for a moment, then exhaling warmth that dries the moss. You realize this flame does not resist the world. It welcomes every change and turns it into calm. You follow its example, accepting the drizzle with peace. The drizzle ends quickly, leaving the air fresh. The moss sparkles faintly under the glow, each bead of water reflecting the fire's breath. They look like tiny stars scattered across the ground, glowing briefly, then fading. You smile at the thought that even water joins the flame, part of the same endless rhythm. The keeper places a stone bowl of sand near the fire. As the flame breathes out, the sand warms, glowing faintly as if lit from within. You press your palm to it and feel gentle heat spreading through your hand. It travels up your arm, into your chest, until your entire body feels like the sand, full of warmth, calm, and rest. The cliffs hum again, deeper this time, as though answering the fire's exhale. The sound vibrates through the ground beneath you, resonating in your bones. You close your eyes and let it pass through, not holding, not resisting. The hum fades into silence, leaving only the steady breath of the flame. The keeper lies back now, their task complete. The fire no longer needs guiding. It has found its balance in the night. You too lowered yourself fully, stretching onto the moss. The softness supports you completely, lifting where needed, yielding where it must. Your body accepts the rest as easily as the flame accepts air. The sky clears and the stars reveal themselves in full. They glitter above, countless and patient. The fire brightens in reply, sending a wave of warmth through the circle. You feel as though the heavens and earth have acknowledged each other, joined by this breathing flame. The connection holds you in perfect stillness. Your eyelids grow heavier, each blink lingers longer, each breath stretches further. The fire continues its rhythm, rising with your inhale, lowering with your exhale. You realize the flame does not simply breathe beside you. It breathes for you, carrying you gently toward sleep, ensuring nothing is required but surrender. The fire folds inward, then opens again, each breath unhurried. Its glow paints the moss in shifting amber, soft and alive. You place your hand over your chest and find the same rhythm waiting there. It feels as though your body is no longer separate from the flame, as though it has lent you its pattern until you are fully at rest. The cliffs above cradle the sound of the sea, carrying it softly into the circle. Waves rise and fall against stone, perfectly aligned with the flame's rhythm. You realize this is not chance. Water, fire, earth, and air breathe together here. The thought soothes you. You belong to that same unity, carried gently within its embrace. The keeper opens their eyes briefly and glances at the flame. They smile faintly, satisfied. Their body has become so still it appears carved from the same stone as the cliffs. The fire mirrors them, pulsing gently in complete peace. You know that even if the keeper sleeps, the flame will not falter. Its vigil is endless. The moss beneath you shifts again, rising with the flame's exhale, settling with its inhale. You close your eyes and surrender to the movement. It feels like being cradled in vast hands, rocked with infinite care. Your breath falls naturally into the pattern, each cycle slower, each pause longer, until you drift on the edge of sleep. The air thickens slightly, carrying more warmth from the fire's breath. It folds around you like a cloak, sealing away the coolness of the night. You no longer sense the breeze or the distant cliffs. You feel only the flame's gentle exhalation, steady against your skin, steady within your chest, endless in its patience. A small log is set near the circle, though it is not used. The flame does not consume wood, it consumes the air itself, turning breath into light. The log rests untouched, a reminder that this fire belongs to no fuel. It is alive in its own right, older than memory, younger than every breath you take. You notice how the glow reaches just far enough to hold the circle, leaving the world beyond in shadow. That shadow feels kind, not empty, as though darkness itself has agreed to give the flame its space. You feel no fear of what lies outside. The flame's breath is enough, filling the circle with complete safety. The keeper hums softly, their tone low and round. The fire responds, rising slightly, then lowering again. The hum and the glow merge until they feel like the same sound. You find your body swaying gently, though you have not moved. The sensation is inside you, a rhythm felt more than heard, guiding you further into rest. The sea grows louder for a moment, waves crashing with more strength. The flame brightens but does not flare. Instead, it breathes deeper, its glow rising in answer. The two forces move in harmony, neither greater than the other. You learn from them both. Strength can be calm, power can be patient. Even vastness can rest. Your hands relax fully now, fingers uncurling against the moss. They feel warm, as though the flame has placed embers inside your palms. That warmth travels up your arms, into your chest, into your breath. Soon you are not holding heat at all. You are made of it, part of the fire's slow and steady exhalation. The keeper places a bowl of smooth stones near the flame. The fire breathes across them, and they glow faintly, as though each one holds a memory of sunlight. You imagine that when morning comes, those stones will keep their warmth long after the night fades. The thought comforts you. Rest continues even when the fire is unseen. Above, the stars shift slowly, patient as the flame. They move across the sky with certainty, just as the fire breathes with certainty. You watch them and realize there is no need to rush. Time belongs to these rhythms, not to clocks or measures. Your body settles deeper into the truth that sleep will arrive at its own pace. A faint mist rises from the sea, drifting across the cliffs and into the circle. The fire accepts it, glowing brighter as the mist passes through. Instead of dampening, the flame turns it into light, weaving it into its breath. You inhale, and the mist feels like coolness within warmth, a perfect balance that deepens your rest. A traveler nearby shifts in their blanket, sighs, and returns to stillness. Their breath is perfectly matched to the flame's rhythm. You realize that every sleeper here is breathing together, one body of rest, one endless exhale. The thought erases loneliness. You are part of something vast, held within the circle's glow. The keeper leans back fully, eyes closed, hands resting on their knees. Their trust in the flame is complete. No tending is required. The fire breathes on its own, carrying every sleeper into dreams. You feel yourself surrendering too, knowing that this rhythm will not falter. It will guide you into rest without asking anything in return. The cliffs shimmer faintly in the firelight, their surfaces reflecting small halos of gold. They appear alive, like faces carved in stone, watching the circle in silence. You do not fear their gaze. It feels protective, as though the land itself has chosen to keep this place safe. The fire exhales, and the cliffs glow back in answer. The tide recedes slightly, its sound softer, like a whisper trailing away. The fire lowers with it, folding gently inward. You sense they are linked, flame and tide, each bowing to the other. The pattern is simple yet infinite, a dialogue without end. Your breath joins the exchange, completing the circle of rhythm. The moss beneath your head feels softer than ever, molding perfectly to your shape. You sink into it, your body so light you wonder if the ground itself has lifted to hold you. The flame brightens for a moment, as if approving your surrender, then exhales slowly, guiding you deeper into rest. The air grows cooler, but the warmth around you does not fade. It lingers close, not as heat, but as presence. You realize warmth is not always temperature. It is also trust, connection, safety. The flame offers all of these freely, breathing them into you with each glow. You accept them without hesitation. Your eyelids are heavy now, closing longer with each blink. The fire's breath continues, steady and certain. You no longer try to follow it. You simply are it. Each inhale is its rise. Each exhale is its fall. The separation between you and the flame has dissolved. You are part of its endless rhythm, carried effortlessly towards sleep. The flame breathes deeper now, its glow spreading wider across the mass. You feel the warmth expand in your chest at the same time, as if the fire were inside you. The circle is silent, filled with sleepers whose breaths rise and fall together. The cliffs hold the quiet steady, and the sea hums in agreement. Nothing in the world feels apart. The keeper lies fully back, hands folded on their chest. The fire continues without guidance, its rhythm perfect, eternal. You realize this flame has never needed tending. It has always been enough. The thought settles into you like a stone placed in still water, rippling outward until your mind is calm, your body weightless. The stars crowd closer, their light mingling with the flame's glow. It feels as though the sky itself is breathing with the circle, inhaling as the flame rises, exhaling as it falls. You look upward and cannot tell whether the fire is imitating the stars or the stars are imitating the fire. Either way, you feel included in the rhythm. Your body is warm from crown to toe, no part untouched by comfort. The moss shapes itself beneath you, soft as water, steady as earth. You no longer think of sleep as something to wait for. You are already in it, awake within its doorway, carried gently toward its deeper chambers by the flame's patient breath. A spark lifts briefly from the fire, floats upward, then disappears into the night. You follow it with your eyes until it is gone, and then you close your eyes to see its echo within. The spark leaves behind a trail of calm, proof that even the briefest light can guide you further inward. You feel no need to hold on. The tide shifts again, waves brushing the cliffs below with a sigh. The fire exhales at the same time, warmth drifting over you like a blanket. The sound and the glow blend together, sea and flame united. Your breath follows without effort, a perfect reflection of the world's rhythm. You feel as though you could drift forever. The keeper murmurs in their sleep, a sound so soft it blends with the fire. You notice that the flame brightens slightly in response, as if it hears and answers. Even in dreams, connection remains. You let the thought comfort you. The fire listens. The world listens. You are heard even when silent, even while sleeping. A cool breeze drifts through the circle, carrying the salt of the sea. It brushes your face gently, then is warmed by the fire's breath. You feel both sensations at once, cool and warm, perfectly balanced. The contrast deepens your rest, reminding you that comfort does not come from one feeling alone, but from harmony between many. Your breath slows further, each inhale shallow but complete, each exhale long and soft. The flame mirrors you, rising only slightly now, then folding inward. You sense the entire circle sinking into the same state, dozens of chests lifting and lowering in unison. The world feels quieted by this chorus of rest. The cliffs no longer appear solid. In the glow of the fire, their surfaces blur and soften, like curtains drawn against the night. They stand, yet they also fade, leaving only the rhythm of the flame. You realize nothing needs to be held firmly here. Even stone is allowed to rest, to lean into the breath of the fire. The moss beneath you holds warmth like memory, passing it slowly into your skin. Your body responds with gratitude, loosening further, sinking deeper. You wonder if the moss remembers every sleeper who has lain here, every chest that has risen and fallen with the fire. The thought is tender, a reminder that you are part of a lineage of rest. The stars above drift westward, their motion too slow to notice unless you surrender fully to time. You do, and you realize the fire's rhythm has no beginning and no end. It is the same as the stars, the same as the tide, the same as your chest. Everything is one movement, shared and eternal. The keeper breathes deeply in their sleep, and the flame rises in reply. You marvel at how seamlessly the two are connected, dreamer and fire, body and light. You allow yourself the same trust, closing your eyes, letting your breath fall into the rhythm without hesitation. Sleep folds over you like the moss itself. The sea murmurs once more, then quiets. Even the waves seem to sleep. The cliffs grow still, the air softer, the moss warmer. The only sound left is the slow pulse of the fire, rising and falling, rising and falling. It feels like a cradle's rock, gentle, unending, certain. You let yourself be rocked further inward. The flame dims slightly, no longer golden but deep red, steady as a heartbeat. You realize it is not fading, only resting more deeply, matching the sleepers around it. You too lower yourself further into stillness. Your body is ember now, glowing faintly, calm and alive, perfectly safe in the night. Another spark drifts upward, dissolving into the dark. This time you do not follow it with your eyes. You feel it instead, a soft lifting in your chest, then release. Sparks will come and go, thoughts will come and go. What remains is the rhythm, steady and endless, carrying you across the threshold of waking. The keeper's face glows faintly in the firelight, peaceful in sleep. You look once more at the flame and see not a blaze, but a breath, slow and patient. It is enough. The world beyond may continue, but here, within the circle, nothing changes, nothing asks for effort. You drift with that knowledge into deeper calm. The moss has grown so warm it feels like another body holding you. You cannot tell where you end and it begins. The fire breathes once more, and your chest follows automatically. There is no separation. You are the moss, the flame, the cliffs, the sea. Everything is one breath, moving in infinite patience. Your awareness thins, sounds blur, shapes fade, but the rhythm remains. Inhale, light expands. Exhale, light folds. You no longer think of yourself as a sleeper. You are part of the fire's dream, glowing steadily, endless in calm. Sleep covers you completely, yet you remain within the breath of the flame. The fire breathes on, eternal, steady. Around it, the circle of sleepers rests in perfect rhythm. Above, stars drift slowly. Below, the sea murmurs faintly. You are gone now into deep dreams, yet the flame holds you, breathing for you, with you, through you. The night is endless, and so is its peace. You have journeyed through the eternal hearths tonight, resting by quiet flames, walking with embers, breathing with fires that never fade. Each story was a reminder that warmth is never truly lost. It is carried forward, shared, and kept alive within us. If these stories brought you peace, I invite you to subscribe so you can return whenever you need rest. And before you close your eyes completely, you might share in the comments where you are listening from tonight and what time you are settling down. May the hearts stay with you, guiding your dreams with their gentle glow. Sleep well, and until next time, may peace be yours.